Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We don't have a lot of time, so we're going to go right to it. Let's take a look at how inflation has affected prices under Biden. Food and beverages have gone up more than 16%. Energy prices nearly 25%. So, David, I'll go to you. Would you call this a strong economy?
Look, I would say there are two economies. If you are wealthy or upper middle class, you're probably just fine. But if you're at the lower end of the income ladder, you're probably being forced to make some tough discretionary spending decisions right now. You said it. When you go to the grocery store, when you go to the pumps, they're feeling that pain. And while inflation has come down, all that's happened here is the rate of change has come down. Prices haven't come down. So they're still very elevated. And the cumulative effect of that is at really as high as 18%.
Yeah, that's the worst part about it is the pricing in the grocery store not going down. And that's what all people really notice at the end of the day.
That's getting hit in the pocketbook.
Yeah. Thomas, have we set a new normal, though, for these prices? I mean, it just seems that I feel like the stores say, oh, well, I'm selling it already at this price, so I'm just going to continue selling it. If people aren't buying it because they have to, they don't really have any choice. Do you ever see this ever going down to near where they were?
Well, that's a great question. And, I think David really hit on some important points there, with inflation being what we call regressive, in that it hits lower income people harder than middle income and wealthier Americans. As far as whether we see prices going down, you have to look at what inflation means. And that's when the growth of money is growing faster than the growth of output. So if we do see some positive economic growth in the next couple of years, we could see prices going down. But, that's still it's still difficult to tell. I'm not saying that it's impossible for prices to go down, but, the jury's still out on that.
Yeah, but, and I think, again, there's a disconnect between the Biden administration's, messaging and people out there feeling it. So, again, just to say it in basic terms, if I go to the grocery store, everything's a lot more expensive. If I go to fill up my car, it's a lot more expensive. Is it possible for the Biden administration to bridge that gap? Because they're saying, no, the economy's getting better, but people just aren't feeling it. And you're seeing that. There's the gasoline prices. So, David, how do they message through this? Is it possible?
Well, it's an election season, so you're going to try to, shape it as best you can. But even Democrats have come out pretty hard against the agenda. Former Secretary of Treasury Larry Summers was probably one of the first to recognize this as early as the first quarter of 2021. He came out hard against the administration and the crisis-like spending that they maintain that. And the administration feels that they're going to be able to tax their way out of this. We can have a political debate about who's paying too little or too much in taxes, but what isn't up for debate is that government is expanding so rapidly that we are hitting a point where the revenue they want to generate will start to crowd out the real economy. It'll be self-defeating. We'll really won't be able to make it. We're running debts and deficits so large that very soon we're going to be servicing our debt at a pace we'll be spending more than we do on defense just to service the debt we have right now.